Welcome back to another episode of With a Grain of Salt. I'm your host, Isaiah Salter, and I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in for yet another week. Truly blessed and grateful to be back for another episode. Really excited about this one too, because I feel like this is a topic that a lot of people struggle to navigate and really fixate on their life. And the topic is how to find and cultivate purpose. How to find and cultivate purpose in your life. Before we get into how to find and cultivate purpose, let's break down what purpose actually is to help you get a better understanding of this concept moving into these topics we're going to get into. A lot of people think purpose is something we need to find, like it's a destination they'll arrive at once they have the right job, passion, or lifestyle. But purpose isn't external. It's not in what you do, it's in who you are. The things you do are simply an expression of your purpose, but they are not the purpose itself. When I understood this and learned this, it helped me tremendously with my journey of navigating, trying to find my purpose, right? You know, that's a topic and an area that a lot of people growing up, that's what we search for. We're trying to find purpose in this life. What is our purpose? What are we here to do, right? And it can really discourage a lot of people and put people down this negative cycle of feeling like they have no purpose. But I'm here to tell you that you do have purpose. And the beautiful thing about this thing called purpose is that it's not in what you do, it's in who you are. The purpose is already within you. It's just about tapping into it and allowing that to express itself in the things that you do, right? So when I was really trying to find my purpose and find some sense of purpose in my life to help me to get up every day and actually move forward, I simplified it, right? I simplified what purpose was to me to help me to start taking small steps in that direction. And the simplified purpose that I came up with in my life was to literally become the best version of myself every single day. That is it, to be the best version of myself every single day. That was my purpose. And that helped me tremendously to stop focusing on a destination, on a job, on a certain career, on a certain path, and just focus on every single day. My purpose is to wake up and be as aligned and intentional as I can for that day. And what I came to realize is that if you start with that, it's going to lead you into the things that you do that help express that purpose. And it can help you tremendously to navigate this topic. And another thing about purpose is that, like we said, it's not in what you do, it's in who you are. Purpose is not a destination. It's not you're going to get to some place or do something and be like, okay, I found my purpose. No, purpose is something that you feel when you're moving on the right path that's aligned with your highest self. And that's really where you need to judge if you're living in your purpose or not, is how do you feel on an everyday basis? Do you feel like you're moving in a direction that is truly aligned with the vision and the picture that you have in your mind, the highest version of yourself, right? And if you don't, it's okay. Don't be discouraged about that, because we have to go through that period of not feeling that way in order to step into the path that allows us to feel that way. So understand you have an opportunity when you don't know, when you feel like you don't have purpose, to lean into that and start to take steps down that path that's going to bring you that sense of purpose. It says, at its core, purpose is about becoming the fullest, most authentic version of yourself. It's about tapping into the gifts, passions, and perspectives you already have and using them in a way that brings meaning to your life and to the lives of others. Purpose isn't something you achieve, it's something you live, and it evolves over time. The more you grow, the deeper your sense of purpose becomes. Come on, the deeper your sense of purpose becomes. So now, let's dive in how you can discover and cultivate purpose in your life, your purpose. The first point says we need to understand the difference between purpose and passion. We need to understand the difference between purpose and passion. Many people confuse purpose with passion. Passion is what excites you. It's an interest, a love for something, a fire that fuels you, right? Purpose, on the other hand, is deeper. It's not just what excites you, but what fulfills you. You might have multiple passions throughout your life, but your purpose remains rooted in who you are, right? Passions are different things that excite us, different things that resonate with us, right? But when it comes to purpose, purpose is something that deeply, deeply fulfills you. You feel fulfilled when you're walking down that path of what your so-called purpose is, right? And like I said, it's not in what you do, it's in who you are. So it's about becoming the most authentic, aligned version of yourself and allowing that energy that you've cultivated within yourself to express in the way that you live your life. So when you are starting to move down a path of authenticity and alignment, and you really, really start to cultivate that energy within yourself, and you let that be the driving force for your life, it's going to express itself in the external things that you dive into, right? It's going to express itself in the type of work and outlets you indulge in. It's going to express itself in the type of people you resonate with. It's going to express itself in the things that you watch and consume on an everyday basis, right? Passion is about what you enjoy, while purpose is about what gives your life meaning. Sometimes they overlap, but they are not one and the same, right? Sometimes they're going to overlap. Sometimes the things you're passionate about are going to be aligned with what bring you that sense of purpose. But other times, things are just hobbies that you're passionate about, and you just do it because it excites you, it brings you a good feeling, and you just enjoy doing that thing. But it's not because you feel like it's aligned or it brings you fulfillment and purpose and helps you to serve the world in a better way. It's just an outlet. It's just an outlet, and that's okay. It's important to have those outlets in your life, those creative outlets, those community outlets, those personal outlets, whatever it may be. It says you don't have to find one perfect passion to discover your purpose. Your purpose is more about how you show up in the world than what specific thing you do. Like I said, your purpose is going to feel like a aligned path you're moving down. You're going to feel a sense of purpose when you're moving in the right direction that's aligned with your higher self. That's going to bring that sense of fulfillment. And it's more about how you show up than what you actually do, right? You can be working at a job that you necessarily don't like, but still find purpose in it because of the way that you're showing up. Like, you can be in an environment, or you could be doing something that it's not something that you're really passionate about. It's not something that you really enjoy doing, but you can find purpose in it by the way that you show up. And most people, they confuse finding their purpose with doing something that they enjoy doing rather than showing up in the way that's aligned with their higher self. You're not always going to do things that you enjoy doing. You're not always going to do things that excite you. But no matter what area of life you're in, you can always bring purpose to it by the way that you show up, by the energy that you lead into that thing with. And that right there can help you tremendously to stop putting your purpose on something external and start understanding your purpose is internal. It's in who you are. So no matter what is going on around you, no matter what different avenues of life you're trying to navigate, you can bring purpose to all of it. You can bring purpose in all of it. It's just about your perspective. It's just about how you're leading into that thing. It says passion is for you, purpose is for others. That was by Jay Shetty. That hit. Passion is for you, purpose is for others. Understand that if you really, really want to feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment in your life, it's going to come from doing things that genuinely serve other people, that genuinely have a positive impact on other people. Right? Your purpose that purpose and fulfillment doesn't come from you just focusing on you all the time, by you just doing things that bring you, a good feeling all the time. No, it comes from you genuinely doing something that you feel like is aligned with your higher self and is positively impacting the people around you, is really serving the people around you in an aligned way. That's when you feel that sense of purpose and fulfillment, because it's bigger than you. Purpose is bigger than you. Your purpose is not for you. It's for the people who need it. God gave us purpose in order to express that in service of other people. That's how we create an interconnected community between us and the rest of the world, the rest of the collective, is you use what you've been given to serve others. That is how you become fulfilled. That is how you move with and in purpose. Right? Passion is for you. Passion is the things that excite you, right? Like, find different passions that you genuinely like and then learn how to bring purpose into those things. And you don't need to do it with everyone. Understand that. You don't need to do it with everyone. Like a passion of mine, right, is playing the drums, is music. I love music and I love to play the drums. That's for Isaiah Salter. That's for your boy Salt. That isn't necessarily to serve other people or to bring me, that sense of purpose, like I'm, positively impacting other people. No, that's genuinely a hobby, a thing that I like to do. And it's important to have those things that you genuinely like to do for you, right? But when you're trying to pursue a path where you feel purposeful, where you feel fulfilled, you have to understand that 10 times out of 10, it's going to involve you doing things that serve and positively impact other people. And that's when you know if I'm really moving in a path that's purposeful, right? And going back to what I said about being able to bring purpose into every area of your life, even areas where maybe the thing you're doing, you don't genuinely like that much, or it's just a regular thing to you. You can bring purpose to it by showing up in a way that is positively impacting the people that you're around, right? And that is how you bring purpose to everything. So that was key number 1. Key number 2, understand purpose evolves over time. Purpose evolves over time. A lot of people feel stuck because they think purpose is a single destination, like a dream job or a specific calling. But purpose is fluid. It grows as you grow. Who you are today is not who you'll be 5 years from now. And that is okay. Your purpose will take different forms throughout your life. Your purpose will take different forms throughout your life. This just made me think of, an area that a lot of athletes struggle with, especially college athletes. Like I was a college basketball player, and something I saw a lot in athletics were when people were done playing their certain sport and they would go on to have jobs or whatever it is, they would go down this path, or they would feel a sense of confusion or feel incredibly lost, like they have no purpose anymore, because they placed their identity and they placed their purpose in the sport, right? So their purpose was to be a basketball player, or their purpose was to be a softball or baseball player or a volleyball player, whatever it was. Now when that thing is gone, you feel like you have no purpose. But do not put your purpose, do not put your identity in the things that you do. Understand it's in who you are. So as you grow out of that passion, as you grow out of that season or stage of your life, the passion might go away, right? I might not be playing basketball anymore, but the purpose is still there, to show up and inspire people to be the best version of themselves, right? At the core root of what I feel like, a part of my purpose is to genuinely inspire people to be the best versions of themselves, to start living a life that's aligned and authentic. That's something that I feel is aligned with my purpose as a human being, truly. And so I can bring that into any endeavor I go in. So now when I leave college and I start pursuing the podcast, I get into coaching, I get into all these things, I'm still bringing that purpose into those things. And depending on what I'm doing and how I mature as an individual, that sense of purpose can change depending on the season of my life, right? My purpose when I was in, middle, high school, and college might have been to, inspire and motivate people through the game of basketball, right? That might have been my purpose. Now coming out of that, when I get into the podcast, when I get into the coaching and stuff like that, it can move into helping people to see life differently and start moving in a more aligned, authentic way, right? Overlaps, but it can change as I grow, as I change, right? And so not getting so emotionally attached to the thing that you do and feeling like that thing is your purpose, and now when that thing is gone, you feel like you have no purpose. No, the purpose is you. The purpose is in you. The things you do allow you to express that purpose, but when those things go, you're still here, and you can bring that energy that you have within you into the next thing. It says, instead of waiting for one big purpose to be revealed, focus on what feels meaningful to you right now. Purpose isn't found in the future. It's cultivated in the present. Whew. Purpose is not found in the future. It's cultivated in the present. It's not about getting to your purpose. It's about cultivating purpose in this moment. Where am I at? What's going on in my life? How can I bring meaning to the things that I have right now? How can I bring purpose to the things that I have right now? How can I serve and positively impact people where I'm at right now, right? And maybe when you ask yourself that question, nothing comes up because maybe you're still struggling to find out who you are. You're still struggling to navigate certain things. Let's bring the purpose to giving yourself time and energy and helping yourself to find clarity in the season that you're in, right? Because what that's going to do is through you going down that journey, you're going to naturally impact and serve the people around you, because as you grow, organically, you positively impact the people around you, right? Whether you realize it or not, your growth is not just for you. It's for the people that need your growth, right? And so how can we find meaning in the current situation, in the current season that we're in, right? It's not about getting to a place. It's not about getting to one destination. It's about being where our feet are and bringing purpose and meaning to this moment, right? It says, it's okay if what once felt like your purpose no longer resonates. That just means you're evolving. Absolutely, right? My purpose at one time might have been, to inspire people through the game of basketball. And I really felt like it was that. It is no longer that. And that is okay. That just means I'm growing. That just means I'm evolving, right? That just means I'm growing. That just means I'm evolving. And that is okay. Steve Jobs said, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. Like I said, most people are focusing on purpose as something that they have to go out and chase after, as something in the future. Purpose is found in the small moments every single day. You bring purpose to this moment, and you're going to reach certain points in your journey where you look back and you see how you've cultivated so many different relationships, so many different connections, had such a positive impact on people because of the things that you've done. But it's only when you reach certain points where you can look back and see that. It's not in the moment, right? You just have to keep trusting that feeling that I'm moving in purpose, right? And you'll know. Trust me, one of the most noticeable things is if you are moving in purpose or not. If you are moving in purpose or not. If you want to move in purpose, you need to start moving with intention. You need to start moving with awareness. You need to start moving with gratitude, right? You need to start moving and leading with love. That's how you cultivate a sense of I'm moving in purpose. Because if you start to do all those things, you're going to naturally positively impact the people around you. And like we said, your purpose is what fulfills you. And the only way to have some sense of fulfillment in your life is to use what you have within yourself, cultivate them in your life, and use that in service of other people. That is a recipe for fulfillment. So use what you have, cultivate them with the right energy, with intention, with awareness, with gratitude, with the right emotions, and continue to show up as the best version of yourself and show up for people in an aligned, authentic way. You will feel fulfilled, and you will feel like you're moving in purpose, right? And like we said, I'm going to keep reiterating, purpose is not in what you do, it's in who you are. Purpose is something that is cultivated in this moment within yourself. And perfect segue into point number 3, which is self-awareness is the key to purpose. If you don't know yourself, it's hard to know what truly matters to you. Self-awareness is the foundation of purpose because it helps you recognize your strengths, values, and what naturally energizes you. Purpose isn't something external. It's something you uncover within yourself. Self-awareness is key. You need to be willing, you need to have the ability to take a pause in your life and actually look within yourself and see the things that resonate with you, see the things that don't. Start to unpack the things that you already have within yourself. That is how you cultivate purpose. But most people, rather than looking within and unpacking the things that they already have, they keep chasing after things externally, and they wonder why they always feel lost. Because you're chasing after something that can only be found within yourself in the external world. That is a recipe to feel lost. And even when you get these things that you've been chasing after, it brings you even more despair and more discouragement because they don't bring you that sense of purpose. They don't bring you that sense of fulfillment that you thought they would when you were chasing after them. So what do? You chase even more. You chase after bigger and what seems like better things, right? And you fall into this rat race of constantly trying to pursue purpose, constantly trying to pursue fulfillment, constantly trying to find validation in all of these external things. And when they don't, you don't know what to do because your identity has been rooted in these things. And now you feel lost. But understand, flip it. Start to unpack the stuff you already have within you. Start to understand that your purpose is not something that you find externally. It's something you cultivate internally, and start to move aligned and authentic down that path. And you are going to feel like you are moving in purpose, moving in your purpose, right? And you can put words to that in whatever way you want. You can articulate what that is, whatever way you want. It can be to inspire others. It could be to teach people about a certain way of life or perspective, whatever it is. However you want to articulate your purpose, that's for you. But the biggest thing is to genuinely feel like you're moving in purpose, right? And you need to have self-awareness for that, because a lot of people, because they lack self-awareness, they're not even aware of why they feel so discouraged, why they feel so lost, why they lack so much clarity, why they keep doing things that don't really resonate with them. If you don't have self-awareness, you'll never be able to be aware of these things and start to navigate in a more healthier and aligned way. It says, pay attention to what activities make you lose track of time, what problems you feel deeply connected to, and what brings you a sense of peace and fulfillment when you do it. These are all clues to a path of purpose, right? Pay attention to what activities you do where you just lose track of time, where you just forget where you are because you're so engulfed in the activity, right? Whatever that may be. That's a sign that could be a passion that can help you to express your purpose. Figure out what problems you feel deeply connected to. Truly figure out what problems you feel deeply connected to, because that could be a sign of an area or avenue you need to lean into, right? And what I've learned in this life is that we are all different, because there's a lot of things that people feel incredibly passionate about and are deeply connected to that they just don't resonate with me. They just don't resonate with me. But that's a beautiful thing. That's not a negative thing. That's a beautiful thing, because it just shows that we all have unique and special paths we're meant to go down. And everybody's purpose is unique in who they are, and the way that they express that is different. And that's a beautiful thing, the fact that we can connect through our differences. Our differences are not to separate us. They're actually there to connect us. Each and every person is a one of one. Each and every person is unique. And when we all tap into our uniqueness of the things that we already have within ourselves, and we start to move in that way, the things that we can create as a collective, the way that we can connect as a collective will be amazing, right? But so often we view differences as a means to separation. Oh, because they're different, because they think different, because they do different things, that means we can't be around each other. That means we can't connect. But usually the deepest connections come from one unique aligned individual connecting with another unique aligned individual and bringing that together, right? It says purpose often aligns with what comes natural to you. Your unique way of thinking, your unique way of feeling, or your unique way of creating. The more you lean into your natural gifts, the clearer your purpose becomes. It's going to be very, very difficult to feel like you're moving in purpose when you're constantly doing things that don't align. At the end of the day, you can't just keep doing things that don't align and just expect to have a fulfilling and purposeful life. No, you want to be doing things that align with who you actually are, because that is what makes you feel like you're moving in purpose, right? Depending on your situation, you might have to still figure out how to cultivate and bring purpose to that situation, because it can't change in the moment, and that is okay, because there's lessons and opportunities in that. But if you have the intention that I'm going to continue to move in a way where I'm stepping into things that are aligned, you're going to keep moving into different activities and external things that do align with that purpose, right? You need to understand that your purpose is going to be cultivated even more when you do things that genuinely align with who you are, right? If you're constantly, that's why school is so tough for so many people, because even for me, it was really tough because there wasn't really anything in school that I aligned with, that I genuinely liked to do. There was nothing. There was not one subject where I was like, yeah, I could do this the rest of my life. Nah. There wasn't, and it was really tough because school will make you feel like you have to pick one thing. Listen, if there's one lesson I learned from school, is to think outside the box. To think outside the box. That's all I got for you on that. You feel me? It says your purpose is not something you find, it's something you remember. Ooh, the purpose was always there. It's just about remembering it and cultivating and tapping into it. Come on. Point number 4 says the connection between purpose and service. It says purpose is not just about personal fulfillment. It's about how you can use your gifts to contribute to the world. Whether big or small, purpose is often connected to service. That doesn't mean you have to be a public speaker or a nonprofit leader. Service can be as simple as inspiring somebody, creating something meaningful, or uplifting others through your presence. Whew. Shout out to my man Hines. He's a content creator on YouTube, and he has a podcast and all that stuff. It's amazing. He said something that was so profound when I heard it. And he said, your presence has purpose. Your presence has purpose. When you understand that purpose is not in what you do, it's in who you are, you understand that just by you being you, you're living in purpose. By you being truly you, you're living in purpose. Because in order to really feel like you're moving in purpose in this life, you have to be living in an aligned, authentic way. Moving in a way that really resonates with the highest version of yourself, right? But understand that, purpose and service, they're intertwined. Purpose and service, they're intertwined. It says, if you're unsure about your purpose, ask yourself, how can I use what I already have to help someone else? Purpose often reveals itself when we focus on giving rather than just receiving. Ooh, this is deep. So many people don't find their purpose because they're clouded by their ego, right? And I've said this in past episodes, but your ego is not a negative thing. It's the way that it's being used in your life, the way that it's affecting your life. That's when it becomes either something that is a tool or something that is clouding you from moving in an aligned, authentic way. When you're so consumed with you all the time, it's very hard to have a sense of purpose, or you fall into the trap of putting your purpose in an external thing because you're only focused on your personal gain. But when you move into a energy of how can I show up today in a way that serves the people around me to the best of my ability, it's going to help you tremendously to start to move down a path that brings you a sense of purpose. Because remember, purpose is not for you, it's for the world. Purpose is not for you, it's for the world. So this is going back to point number 3 about self-awareness. Have the self-awareness to realize, am I moving in a way that I'm only focused on getting myself certain things, or can I shift certain areas in my life to start prioritizing showing up and serving people with the things that I do have, right? Still focus on giving yourself what you need, because that is incredibly important. You can't pour from an empty cup. But also prioritize serving people to the best of your ability, right? Purpose and service are intertwined. Purpose and service are intertwined. It says the most fulfilling lives are not the ones focused solely on personal gain, but on creating value for others in a way that aligns with who you are. There's nothing more fulfilling than doing things that are aligned with who you are, and those things serve and positively impact other people. There's nothing more fulfilling. Nothing. I could do this podcast for the rest of my life and never make a dime and be okay with that because of the way it fulfills me, because of the way that it aligns so deeply with my purpose. I genuinely love diving into these topics and connecting with you guys about different things that we navigate. And the way that it positively impacts people, that's where the fulfillment comes from. The DMs I get, the comments, right, the messages, it really, really brings a sense of fulfillment. And that sense of fulfillment that it brings, no dollar sign can ever amount to that. That feeling of fulfillment is priceless. It really is. And that's why they say in life, the things that make you truly rich are free. The things that make you truly rich are free. I forgot what podcast it was on, but it hit so deep. And he said, some people are so broke. It was Cat Williams. Cat Williams said, some people are so broke, all that they have is money. Some people are so broke that all that they have is money, right? We live in a society where we view wealth as one thing, and that's the amount of money you make. But true wealth comes from the things that you cultivate within yourself, the true connections you make with people that you love and resonate with, the way you move in purpose, right? The way that you use your gifts in service of other people. That's wealth that money can't buy, right? That's wealth that money can't buy. Having a healthy family, having a healthy marriage, that's wealth money can't buy. Mahatma Gandhi said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. When you're doing things that genuinely align with who you are and they're serving other people, you get lost in that. You get lost in that and you totally forget about me. And it becomes about how can I continue to use what I've been given to serve others. Naturally, you're given everything in return. But you forget about that because you're so invested. You're so ingrained in purpose. Number 5, overcoming fear and doubt on the path to purpose. This is huge. Many people delay pursuing their purpose because of fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear that they're not ready. But fear and doubt are not signs that you're on the wrong path. They're signs that you're stepping into something meaningful. Understand when you say, you know what, I want to start living in my purpose. I want to start living a more aligned and authentic life. Fear and doubt are going to come with you leaning into that path, right? But most people, when they lean into that and the fear and doubt arise, they think they're doing something wrong. They think they're moving down the wrong path. But no, the reason you have fear, the reason you have doubt is because you're actually stepping into something that's really meaningful. And that's not an easy thing to do, right? Living out your purpose is not an easy path to go down, right? So it is going to bring you a lot of different emotions, a lot of different obstacles, a lot of different challenges. But when those things arise in your life, understand that they're a part of this journey. They're not there to bump me off, or they're not there because I'm moving in the wrong direction. No, they're there because I'm actually stepping into something that's meaningful. And anything meaningful is not going to be easy to attain. Anything meaningful is not going to be happy-go-lucky all the time. Right? You're going to have to go through different tests, challenges, adversity, obstacles, roadblocks, but they're there to develop your character in order to step into what's meaningful, right? It says purpose requires courage. Every person who has ever done something meaningful has had to move forward despite fear. Purpose requires courage. In order to really start moving down a path where you feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment, you have to have courage because it's going to require you to continuously lean into things that do bring you fear, right? And remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It's deciding to do it afraid. I feel the fear. I'm going to lean into it anyway. That's courage. And if you want to step into your purpose, you have to be willing to have courage. You have to be willing to be brave, right? It says you don't need 100% clarity before taking action. Purpose is revealed through action, not overthinking. So often we sit and we try to think our way into purpose. Purpose comes from action. Purpose comes from us actually taking steps down a path that feels aligned and authentic to who we actually are, right? And like I said, I've said this in previous episodes, take a pen and paper and write down a life that's aligned with the highest version of yourself that you can come up with right now. And write out the steps or the daily things that person would do every single day, and do your best to start implementing them one day at a time, one moment at a time, one step at a time. Make that your purpose for the season that you're in. If you're kind of lost or confused or at the beginning stages of really trying to figure out who you are, make that your purpose. To write out a list of the things that align, the daily things that align with the highest version of myself that I can come up with, and to do my best every single day to take steps towards implementing those things into my life. Come on. And somebody might say, well, I thought purpose is intertwined with service. When you start moving in an aligned, authentic way, naturally you are serving the people around you. Whether you realize it or not, naturally you are serving the people around you because now you're starting to show up and move in a way that's more aligned, that's more uplifting, that's more inspiring to people, right? Now you're helping people to feel inspired to do the same in their life, whether you realize it or not. Elizabeth Gilbert says, fear is the price of admission for a meaningful life. Fear is the price of admission for a meaningful life. If you want a genuinely meaningful life, a real meaningful life, you have to understand that fear is going to come with that. But remember, fear is a guide. Fear is an opportunity. It's not a hindrance. Only if you allow it to be. It's all based on your perspective. That's why perspective is everything. Take everything with a grain of salt. When the fear comes up, we take it with a grain of salt. We see it as an opportunity, as a guide, and we lean into it with courage. Come on. Number 6 says, purpose is lived in the present, not the future. Purpose is lived in the present, not the future. Many people treat purpose as something that they will have one day. But purpose isn't in the future. It's in the way you live today. The choices you make, the energy you bring, the way you show up each day, all contribute to your sense of purpose. So often we miss out on genuinely feeling that sense of purpose for where we are because we're so focused on finding our purpose in the future. We place our purpose at a certain destination, and because our energy is so focused on that and we're constantly chasing after that, we're missing out on bringing purpose to where we actually are, on cultivating the purpose in the moment. And purpose is lived in the present, not the future. Purpose is lived in the present, not the future. It says, instead of asking, what's my purpose? Try asking, how can I live purposefully today? Instead of saying, oh, what's my purpose? I feel like I have no purpose. Ask yourself, how can I live purposefully today? How can I be intentional today? How can I serve the people around me today? Right? That shifts you from focusing so much on a destination to focusing on showing up in this moment, in the day in front of you. It says purpose isn't always grand or obvious. Sometimes it's simply being fully present, bringing love into your interactions and staying true to your values despite the external circumstances. Come on. That's deep. That's deep. I'm going to read it one more time. That's deep. Purpose isn't always grand or obvious. Sometimes it's simply being fully present, bringing love into your interactions, and staying true to yourself despite the external circumstances. Come on. Theodore Roosevelt says, do what you can with what you have, where you are. Purpose is doing what you can with what you have, where you are, to the best of your ability. That's how you bring purpose to this moment. Number 7, small daily actions lead to a purposeful life. Many people think purpose has to be huge, world-changing, and big. But in reality, purpose is built in small daily actions. It's in how you treat people, the way you pursue growth, and the energy you bring to your work and relationships. That is where that sense of purpose is felt in your life. It's in the small daily actions you take towards a meaningful and aligned, authentic life. Your purpose doesn't have to be something extraordinary. It can be found in the simple ways you choose to show up every day. The simple ways you choose to show up every day, right? Purpose isn't about complexity. It's about simplicity. Simplicity is the highest form of sophistication. If you want to live a life where you feel a sense of purpose, if you want to move in a more aligned, authentic way, focus on the small, simple daily actions that align with your higher self. Simple. Focus on the simple things. A simple life is a peaceful life. A simple life is a grateful life. A simple life is a purposeful life. Come on. It says a kind word, a helping hand, or simply being fully present can be part of your purpose. Absolutely. You know how many times I've held the door for somebody or had a really good interaction with somebody in public or whatever it is, and I've left feeling like that was a very fulfilling conversation. That was a very, very fulfilling interaction. That was a very, very filling experience, right? Aristotle says we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Number 8, last key of the day. It says purpose requires action, not just thought. We touched on this earlier. But it says you don't have to have it all figured out before you start. Taking action, trying new things, stepping out of your comfort zone, and following what excites you is how you pursue purpose, and it becomes clear. Trying new things, stepping out of your comfort zone, and following what excites you. That is how your purpose becomes more clear to you, right? You have to try different things. You have to be like a kid on a playground trying everything, right? Have the spirit of curiosity. Step into the unknown, lean into the fear, try new things, step out of your comfort zone, follow what excites you, right? Follow your intuition. That's how purpose becomes more clear in your life. It says thinking about your purpose won't bring clarity. Acting on what excites you will. Start where you are, even if it's small. Start where you are, even if it's small. And it's the small steps that really lead to the big things that we want to see in our life. The big things that we so much desire are really just the accumulation of very, very small steps throughout our everyday lives, right? So focus on the small, simple things and you'll see the biggest change in your life, all right? The more you experiment and engage with life, the clearer your purpose becomes. You need to be a practitioner, not a parrot. I heard this on a podcast earlier today. I was listening to The Diary of a CEO. You need to be a practitioner, not a parrot. Most people just repeat what they hear, right? They repeat what they see. They repeat what they read. Practitioners actually put themselves out there and try the things and gain wisdom, because wisdom is only gained through experience. A lot of people have knowledge. So you read about certain things, you hear certain things, you study certain things, you research certain things. Wisdom is only gained by putting yourself out there and having real life experiences, right? So be a practitioner, not a parrot. Really take the stuff that you hear today and actually put yourself out there and try different things. Try new things, step out of your comfort zone. And you'll see how being a practitioner will lead to a more purposeful life. But a lot of people, they just repeat what they hear. They just talk a lot and don't ever have action. It's tough. Clarity comes from engagement, not thought. Clarity comes from engagement, not thought. Most people try to think their way into clarity. You don't think your way into clarity. You engage your way into clarity through actions, through the daily steps, through small, simple leaps. Now, to finish up the episode, we have 10 tangible pieces of advice for navigating purpose, right? We're going to do a little quick round just to give you guys some more real tangible things you can do to help you to navigate this idea of purpose in your life. The first thing is detach purpose from a job or a title. Like we said earlier, it's not in what you do, it's in who you are. Purpose is who you are, not what you do. It's the energy, values, and presence you bring into the world. Your career can be an expression of your purpose, but it's not the source of your purpose. The things you do can be an expression of your purpose, but they're not the source of your purpose. Remember that. You carry your purpose with you, no matter the job, title, or stage. The purpose is within you. The things you do allow that purpose that's already here to express itself externally, right? So, actionable steps. Journal about the impact you want to have on the world beyond the job title. Genuinely write down some things that you want to do, the impact that you want to have on the people around you, on the world. Write it down, journal it, and see what comes up. Make a list of ways you can express your purpose outside of work, right? Make a list of ways, right? If you're in a career where it's cool, but it doesn't feel like your purpose. Make a list of ways that you can express purpose outside of work, outside of the things that are just hobbies, right? Make a list of it. How can you show up and serve people outside of the everyday things that you're doing, right? Start to come up with things and start to see what comes up. Practice introducing yourself without mentioning your job. Focus on who you are, not what you do. I need to work on this. I like this. I'm going to lean more into that after the episode. Number 2, it says look at what comes naturally to you. We talked about this too. Your purpose is often hidden in the things that feel effortless to you but valuable to others, right? What feels effortless to you? So write down 5 things people often ask you for help with or compliment you on. Sit with this, right? And maybe you don't have 5 things. If it's 1 or 2, write that down and actually see what comes up. Ask 3 to 5 close friends what they think your strengths are. See what comes up. It says try a new hobby or skill that aligns with your natural gifts and see how it feels. Just try it. Try it. Try it. Number 3 says follow curiosity, not just passion. Follow your curiosity, not just passion. I love that. Passion is exciting, but it can fade. Curiosity leads you to deeper fulfillment. Whatever you're curious about, right? Try different things, right? Don't sit and be like, oh, I'm only going to try things that I feel like I'd be passionate about. No, be curious about everything and try different things, right? So put yourself out there and try different things. It says keep a curiosity journal. Write down anything that excites you or intrigues you. Anything. It can be anything. Anything. Literally anything, y'all. Anything. Each month, try something new that interests you. A book, a class, a conversation. Give yourself permission to explore without pressure. Your purpose unfolds over time. Give yourself a permission to explore different things without the pressure of needing to find one thing. Try a lot of different things. See what's for you, see what isn't. Take everything with a grain of salt. There's no pressure, just exploration. There's no pressure, just exploration. Just discovery. Have fun with it. Right? Don't create this box of how everything has to go. Just allow life to bring excitement into your life. Allow the universe to unfold in a beautiful way. Number 4 says serve others in some way. Serve others in some way. So some steps that you could take. Volunteer or mentor someone in the area that you care about. Or volunteer for something to give back, whatever it may be. Offer your skills or knowledge for free to help someone in need. Start small. Help a friend. Give advice. Or create content that serves others. Anything. These are just 3 of the plethora of examples out there. But dive into these things. Really start to give these things energy. It says pay attention to what breaks your heart, right? The problems, right? Make a list of causes, struggles, or injustices that deeply affect you. Research ways you can contribute, right? Whether it's charities, activism, storytelling, whatever it is, exposure. Have conversations with people affected by these issues to understand how you can help. Ooh, that's deep. Number 6 says don't fear reinventing yourself. I love this. Give yourself permission to pivot. Write down 3 things you do if fear wasn't a factor. If fear was out the way, what would you do? 3 things. Set a reinvention challenge. Try something completely outside of your comfort zone and see what happens. Try something completely outside of your comfort zone and see what happens. And then it says create a failure resume. List times you've tried something and learned from those experiences, right? List different things you've tried and maybe they didn't go the way you wanted to or whatever it was. List some things you learned from that experience, right? Write those things down. It's important to have these backpacks of experiences and wisdom of the things that we went through. It's important to have that. Number 7 says create more than you consume. This is huge. Create more than you consume. The more you create, the more you refine what truly lights you up. Set a daily or weekly goal to create. Writing, speaking, building, sharing insights, anything. Create anything. Limit social media scrolling and replace it with creating something of your own. I love that. And creation is whatever you want it to be. Creation is open for you. Number 8, let go of external validation. This is huge. If your sense of purpose is tied to others' approval, you'll never feel fully aligned. Come on. The more you trust yourself, the clearer your purpose becomes. Write down all the opinions or expectations you feel pressured by, then cross out the ones that aren't yours. Ooh, I like that practice. Take a pen to a piece of paper and write down all the opinions or expectations that you feel pressured by in your life, that you feel like are dictating the way you're moving. And then cross out which ones aren't truly yours. Practice making decisions based on your own values, not what looks good to others. And then spend time alone and reflect on what truly fulfills you, right? Spend time in solitude. It says number 9 says prioritize inner work and reflection. Purpose isn't found outside of you, it's uncovered within you. Come on, meditate, practice breath work, journal, spend 30 minutes a week in solitude, checking in on yourself, right? Different things that you can do. And then number 10, to end the episode, it says trust that you are already living your purpose, because remember, your purpose is in you. You are already moving in purpose. It's just about aligning with it. Whew. Purpose is not a destination, it's a way of being. Purpose is not a destination, it's a way of being. If you focus on being present, growing, and serving, you're already on the right path. Shift your mindset each morning. Remind yourself that purpose is in the present. My presence has purpose. Find purpose in small actions, conversations, kindness, learning. At the end of each day, reflect. Did I show up in alignment with who I want to be? Ask yourself these questions, right? But understand the purpose is in you. You bring purpose to this moment, not the other way around. You are a spiritual being moving in purpose, right? Moving in purpose, and it's within you. So I hope that episode gave you some clarity on navigating the concept and topic of purpose, right? Don't fall so don't fall to the trap of thinking that you have to find one grand thing that is your purpose. I fell into this before, and I've seen how so many people around me are doing the same. Your purpose is not in what you do, it's in who you are. The things you do allow you to express your purpose. Remember that. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I really enjoyed this episode. And definitely comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys, some thoughts about this topic, some things that have helped you to navigate this area in your life, right? And remember, most importantly, to take everything with a grain of salt. I will see you guys next week. We gone.